Welcome, everybody. You have made it to the hottest show in town. We are back with another FBA Prep bonus session. Today we have Reed Larson, the co-founder of FBA Prep, back again. And as most of you know, we had Reed for the last 2 weeks as well, going through all the different aspects of what FBA Prep kind of does for FBA business owners and Amazon business owners. So we've seen his personal strategy on LLC creation, business structures, and kind of the smartest, most optimal business structures you can have for this type of business. And that was an incredible session. And then he came back the next week and did bookkeeping and accounting, and that was even better. And now today, guys, we're going to top it off with the cherry on top. We're going to talk about powerful listings that sell. And with FBA Prep, the whole concept of FBA Prep is you can focus on your customers, your products, sourcing new products, expanding your product line, improving your products, and improving that customer experience ultimately. What FBA Prep's going to do for you is allow you to just throw your products into a proven outsourced supply chain where everything's going to be done for you. Everything, as you've seen, from LLC creation to bookkeeping and accounting, all the way up to product photography and product listings. FBA Prep has written, I don't even know the number now, but Reed and FBA Prep have written, I'm sure, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of product listings by now, and they really know what works and what doesn't work. So today we have Reed Larson back again for the cherry on top, how to make an effective, high-converting product listing on Amazon and how to optimize that listing moving forward as the market changes and as your business changes. So I'm really excited for this session because FBA Prep does this very, very well with a huge amount of products that go through that supply chain, both for themselves and for their clients. So we're looking forward to this, and without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Reed Larson, the co-founder of FBA Prep. And guys, today is going to be a little bit shorter than our typical 2-hour session. We do have a very hard cutoff, so we're going to try to keep this around 90 minutes. And we appreciate Reed's time for all that he's made available. So without any further ado, I will reintroduce to you Reed Larson, the co-founder of FBA Prep, and Steve and I will be in the question box answering your questions the whole time. So without any further ado, Reed, take it away, my friend.
Okay. Thanks, Will. Appreciate the kind invitation and the kind words. And I just got to tell you at the outset here, before we dive in, this webinar is the one that you've been wanting. This is the one you've been hoping for. I have spent some extra time on this to put it together in such a way that I hope you will get absolutely massive value out of it. So what that also means is that there's going to be a lot of information in this presentation, okay? Everybody, I'm going to pin my ears back and I'm going to go, and I'm going to try and take your questions as they come up, and of course Will and Steve will be taking care of your questions in the background as well. But the main thing here is that if I don't get your question in the flow of the session, and if I don't answer it along the way, then at the end I will take questions. So I'd like for you to write down your questions as they as you get them, put them into the question box, and we'll try and get to them. And if I still haven't covered them at the end, I will do my best to cover them. Have your questions ready at the end. I may stop for questions once or twice along the way, but again, we're going to speed up the pace. We're going to really get out of here in a hurry, moving forward towards building powerful listings that sell and showing you some really awesome techniques for doing that. Where I want to start, though, is what is a listing? A lot of times people say, well, what is a listing? How what does it do? How do I, especially if I'm new? So the bottom line is this: a listing is the page that you create. Okay, it's on Amazon. It's the page that Amazon uses to display the details about your product. It's called a detail page in Amazon. You do not own it. Okay, on Amazon, if you create a listing for your product, you do not own that listing page. I need to make this absolutely clear right up front. Amazon owns that page. You make suggestions, and they will either accept or reject your suggestions. Just because it's your product and you put all the time and effort into building the listing page does not make it yours. Other people can sell on that listing because it belongs to Amazon. So what we want to do is just be clear that our whole objective here is to create a really good listing at the beginning so that we don't have to go back and make suggestions to fix the listing that we previously made. The reason is because the more we go back to make suggestions to Amazon to fix a listing, and the longer that listing has become entrenched in Amazon, the harder it is to get Amazon to make the fix unless it's factually inaccurate, like you said red, but it's actually blue. Okay? So we want to get it right. We want to get it right the first time, and we want to make sure that we put the time and effort into creating that listing on Amazon's system in such a way that we don't need to go back and monkey with it later. And if we do, we're only going to change very small bits, okay, for testing purposes. In effect, it's your sales page, and I'm going to show you all about conversion rates here in a few minutes. Conversion rate is what you want to track. You want to understand conversion rates, where to find them on Amazon so that you can see how well your product is selling. It consists of images, what we call copy. What copy means is words on a page, okay? Stuff that gets copied onto the page. That includes bullet points, a product description, and other seller information such as keyword research and so forth. Also the title to the product. All those things are included in the listing. And obviously it is this detailed page that's going to make the difference between your product being sold to a customer or not, because customers are going to look at your detail page and they're going to buy your product or they're not. Here's the thing to keep in mind though, okay? I just want to just point this out. You have 30 seconds. That's it. And most of the time it's really closer to 8 seconds. But Amazon wants the customer, their customer, to be in to Amazon, find what they want, and check out in 30 seconds. That's the goal. Which means you only have a few seconds to make an impact and get people to buy your product instead of one of the other ones. So what that means is we're going for a very specific set of criteria when we put something into a listing. It all has to be pointed towards the concept of making people feel comfortable that they're making the right decision, that they're in the right place, that they've got the right product, okay? Burn that into your brain for just a minute. When you land on a detail page on Amazon in particular, and this also applies to other online platforms as well, you want to give people the sense that they've got the right product. They're in the right place, you found the right one, go ahead and click the buy box or click the button to purchase. This is the one you've been looking for. Okay? That is the main thing that you have to communicate. You've got about 8 seconds to do that. The more they scroll, the more they futz around with the listing, the less likely they are to buy your product, which is obvious when you take a look at how Amazon has set up the detail pages, and we'll look at a couple of those in a minute. All right, what are the main elements of a listing then? They are the title, the images, the bullets, the product description, and the product details. We're going to look at each of those 5 different elements of a listing today. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and some methods to build good titles, images, and bullets, product description, and a good strong back end, okay? So let's dive in. How to build great titles. And you should know that 80% of the buying decision is based on the first thing the customer sees. A lot of us think that the first thing the customer sees is the title or the name of the product. And if you were talking about a regular advertisement, let's say in a newspaper, magazine, or other print medium, you'd be right. The title would be 80% of the deal. You get a great title and the rest of it's academic. Not so on Amazon. A great title is the second most powerful thing you can do. The most powerful thing you can do is have great images, because those images are what sell your product more than and more powerfully than any other listing element. They, in effect, are the headline for your product. So We're going to dive in with how to build great titles, so keep in mind that's the second most important thing you can do. Okay, obviously, if you're going to build great titles, you have to understand what category your product is going to be in. When I say category, I really actually mean department, because Amazon has several departments, things like electronics or toys and games or health and wellness or kitchen. Those are departments. Inside of the departments are various categories, and inside of those categories are different requirements for what you're allowed to do for the title, including the size. Might be 100 characters maximum, might be 250 characters maximum, and so forth. So you need to know what size is allowed in the category, and you can look that up by when you go into add a product on Amazon, and you go into the process. As you get into the area where you literally type or copy the title in the user interface, it will tell you how many characters you have, how much space you have. So a little bit of pre-work, advanced reconnaissance, as you will help you in this, because you can go look and see how many characters are allowed in each of the fields that you're going to have to populate. So we also want to make sure we include our brand name, at least one primary keyword, the primary benefit and or primary feature of the product. And if there's for example, a product number or a catalog number or something that people might be searching for, particularly in things like auto parts or something that's going to fit a certain product, like if you're selling an accessory that fits a certain product and that accessory has a model number or something, you should probably also include that model number in there. The main thing to keep in mind, though, is don't make the title too long. Don't make it too short. Don't make it too long. Don't make it too this. Don't make it too that, right? Try and keep it right up the middle of the guidelines that we're talking about here. That means don't try to sell the world in your title. Don't try and give people every last reason that you can think of for somebody to buy your product by making that title 1,000 characters long. In most cases, they won't even allow that anymore. They used to. But in most cases, they will not even allow that anymore. But even if you have 250 characters allowed, you should probably not use all 250 characters unless it's absolutely necessary. All right, the goal here, of course, is to communicate, like I said before, that you're in the right place. You found the right product. So let's take a look at some bad titles versus some good titles, okay? This is, here are my bad titles list, all right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click these, and hopefully what will happen is it will open up, here we go, Amazon, and I hope all you can see my Amazon screen. I can try and blow it up so it's just a little bit larger here. All right, what's wrong with this title? It's the Maisto Fresh Metal Tailwinds 1:97 scale die-cast United States military aircraft U.S. Air Force medium altitude long endurance unmanned aerial vehicle UAV RQ-1 Predator with display stand dimensions 6 inches by 3.5 inches by 1 inch. What's wrong with that title? All right, well, obviously it's way too long, and it doesn't necessarily communicate what it is you're buying, which is a die-cast toy, right? It's like a Hot Wheels car, except it's a Predator drone. It's a drone or something like that. Unmanned aerial vehicle. All right, so that's an example of a bad title. Here's another example. This is the Accoutrements 11761 Yodeling Pickle. Now, stop laughing. This is a real product on Amazon because I'm doing this live. You can see that it's there. What is a yodeling pickle? All right, so this is not a good title because there's not enough information for you to actually know what this is by looking at the title. And who knows what in the heck an 11761 is. Maybe that's the model number, because there's so many different models of yodeling pickles out there that you got to make sure you've got the right one, right? Well, whoever built this really, didn't provide enough information. So that's on the bad list. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This one is uranium ore. Okay, that's the title. 2 words. What's wrong with this title? Well, it does not tell you what it is. I mean, it does tell you it's uranium ore. But what in the world, right? Somebody's actually selling uranium ore on Amazon. Okay, so probably you need some additional information in that title so that people will know what it is that they're actually getting and what the primary benefit of this type of uranium ore would be. All right, let's take a look at another one. This is the UFO detector internal magnetometer interfaced with microcontroller for the 24-hour, 7 days a week monitoring for magnetic anomalies that may have been reported with many UFO sightings. All right, so what's wrong with this title? You can probably figure out that it's too long. It's probably filled with lots of big words and doesn't necessarily give me the feeling like I'm in the right place, that this is the right product. And, you know, frankly, UFO detector, really? Maybe I'm a lot more concerned about if it works than all of the different details about it in the title. I mean, I can get those details in the bullet points or the product description, which is where they belong, okay? And the title, you got to tell me if this is a gag gift or not, if this is real. I mean, is this really for real, or is this more like a gag gift that you hit the button and the LED lights flash and it's funny and you know, that kind of thing. All right, so let's see. I think I got one more bad. Here's a bad title. It's HGIYIYIHGJHJH, comma HJHK. It's a paperback book from 1944, apparently, by JJJJ. Well, okay, obviously this is a fake listing, but it's actually on Amazon. Point is that, look at the title, it doesn't tell you anything about the book or about the product, okay? So these are all mistakes. They're too long, they're too short, they're too information intensive, or there's not enough information. Those bad titles should be instructive. They should help you to understand kind of what, you know, what not to do, right? So hopefully what not to do is instructive, but also good titles. Let's take a look at some good ones, and those will be also instructive, I hope. This is a #1 bestseller, and why? Well, it's a great title. Rubbermaid, all right, that's our brand name. That immediately instills the idea of quality. Easy Find Lids food storage container. Okay, this tells me what it does. It stores food. The lids are easy to find because apparently based on the picture they're bright red, and that's also in the title. It's a 42-piece set and it's red. This title is not too long, it's not too short. It contains the elements that are good in creating a good title. Okay, and those elements include things like putting the brand name in there, putting a benefit or a feature. In this case, it is a food storage container. In this case also, the name of the product is Easy Find Lids food storage container, but this title actually includes keywords. Okay, food storage container or container is your primary keyword, I'm guessing. And if I were to do some keyword research, that would probably be confirmed. And so the primary keyword is in the title, and that's excellent. And things like 42-piece set and red, that is also something that's helpful to know and lets me know, oh, I'm in the right place. I've got the 42-piece set, I've got the red one, that's what I was looking for, okay? And we can go back and look at the photos. They're excellent photos of this product as well. All right, so that would be a good title. Let's take a look at the next one here. Assuming that Amazon comes up here, this is a Black & Decker BDH 2000 PL Max Lithium Pivot Vacuum 20 volt. Okay, so the reason why I included this one in the good is because it has Black & Decker brand name. It has the model number, the BDH 2000 PL, and for popular brand names like Black & Decker, some people will in fact search by the model number. Now, if you're launching your own brand, then that may not happen. But if you're doing arbitrage, and it's important for you to put the model number in the title for a lot of these, because some people will search by the model number for the product that they want. Max Lithium Pivot Vacuum. Okay, lithium is a good word because that tells me that it's not got a cord. This is a rechargeable, wireless product, and it's a vacuum, and it's 20 volts, which tells me that it's fairly powerful. So they have put A lot of information into a short amount of space here with this title. That's why I put it on the list as an example of one that would be considered good. All right, let's take a look at this next one. This is wool dryer balls, pack of 6. Natural fabric softener, reusable, reduces wrinkles, saves drying time. Anti-static, large, felted wood clothes dryer balls is a better alternative to plastic balls. I put this on the good list, but I tricked you. It is good for a couple of the things that it does, but it's also bad. So what are the things that's good? Well, it's good because it tells you exactly what it is. Wool dryer balls, pack of 6. And it gives you a benefit. Natural fabric softener, reusable. But it keeps giving you benefits and features, okay? The feature being natural, the feature being that it's reusable, the feature that it reduces wrinkles, the feature that it saves drying time, and these things, each of these features lead to a benefit. What's the benefit of a natural fabric softener? You're not putting chemicals into the environment. Your fabrics come out soft from the dryer. Reusable, it saves me money. Okay, reduces wrinkles. Oh, that means it saves me time because I don't have to iron so much. Saves drying time. Oh, there's another benefit. Anti-static, large felt. So what's happened here is it started out as a good title, and then they just pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. It's too long. All right. So you might want to, if this happens to be your product and you happen to be on this webinar, forgive me, but I would recommend that you cut this title down. Maybe at the period. In fact, I wouldn't even put the period in there. Take all of that off of there. Okay. Natural fabric softener, reusable, reduces wrinkles, saves drying time. That's a good compromise. Anti-static, large felted wool clothes dryer balls is a better alternative to plastic balls. Not really helping me out much. Okay? All right. Let's see. Was that one? Yeah, that was. So let me go to this last one here on the good list. Universal economy bookends. Standard has the dimensions. Heavy gauge steel, black, 1 pair, and has a model number. Why is this a good title? Universal's the brand name. Economy bookends tells me what I'm getting. It's a standard product. It's not some weird size. It gives me the dimensions. It's made of heavy gauge steel, so I know it's not cheap. It's black. That's important, so I know what color it is, and I get a pair of them, not just one. And this is very important because in the picture you only see one. And they've included a model number. Okay, excellent. It's given me enough information that I know that this is the product I'm looking for if this is what I'm looking for. Okay, and if I'm not looking for this, it also tells me, oh, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. And quickly I can figure out what I am looking for. Okay? The point here is that good title's job is to help the person that's thinking of buying your product to know whether this is the right product for them. I know that sounds weird because what we think intuitively is that I need to sell my product. I need to convince this person that it's right for them. Here's the difference between that approach and the approach that I'm advocating here. If you need to convince your customer on Amazon that they ought to buy your product, convince them that they need bookends, or convince them that they really ought to be in the market for bookends, you're trying to convince them that they need to do something. They already came to Amazon because they know they want bookends. All right? They didn't type in bookends because they're looking for a file cabinet or a chair. They typed in bookends because they know that's what they want, and they're ready to buy, and they have money in their pocket, otherwise it wouldn't be on Amazon. Okay? So, because they already know what they want, it's our job to tell them this is what you're looking for. It's not our job to convince them that they ought to be buying bookends. They've already got that. All right? So, good titles. Those are all things. Now, before I move on, any question on titles? Somebody says color should be in the title. Is it not enough if the variations have the color name? All right, color should be in the title, yes. It is not enough if the variations have the color name, because what happens is people will come, and if you don't have the color name in the title, sometimes people will click on a variation, the picture is what they're looking at, not the color and the variation. And sometimes the picture that they're on is a different color, and they will end up buying a product and getting a color other than what they thought they were getting. So the way you defend against that is you make sure that you have the color in the title, or the size, or whatever is the variation differentiator. That needs to be there in the title as well as on the variation itself. Okay? All right. If you have other questions about titles, throw them into the box. I'm going to move forward because we've got so much more to cover. And you can go back and see this deck and see these examples on your own time later if you choose to come back and review this, which I hope that you will, because we're about to turn the fire hose on here. How to create world-class images. How to create world-class images. Well, world-class images, first of all, start with making sure that the sizing requirements are met. Making sure that you use high quality, high resolution, in-use photos. In-use means showing how the product works in your life, how it fits into your life. It's people using it, or it's a stationary, a picture of the product where it would sit in your home or in your office or whatever. Action shots are better than stagnant shots, but sometimes an action shot's not possible with a product, so at least make sure that you have the in-use photos. And you also want to reuse images that are in the marketing. So in other words, if you have images that are on the package, use them in the listing. If you have images in the listing and you're trying to put together packages, then go to your listing images and use those on the packaging too, so that it's consistent. Those are some tricks, some secrets to creating world-class images. The sizing requirements, by the way, that you need to meet are, they have to fill at least 85% of the image, so not a little tiny picture with a huge white background. Okay, few or no props, no logos, watermarks, or inset images in the main image. A lot of people think that this applies to every image, and in most departments, it's only the main image that has to be on a white background with no logos, watermarks, or inset images. Okay, main images must have a pure white background. By the way, the definition of pure white background is 255.255.255 RGB value. So for those of you who are doing your own images or going to do your own punch-outs, graphics artists, people out there, it's got to be pure white. Can't be 254, 254, 254. Got to be 255, 255, 255. All right? Pure white. That's the background. And it's checked by the computer when you upload. That means when you go to upload, if the computer senses that it's not a pure white background, you will probably get the image suppressed. And if it's suppressed, then the image, not only the image, but the whole listing will not be visible until you go fix it. All right. The sizing requirements are continued. Images must be at least 1,000 pixels on the longest side, at least 500 pixels on the shortest side to be zoomable. Not more than 10,000 pixels on the longest side. And the preferred image formats are listed there. Now, what I'll tell you is that typically we do 2,000 by 2,000 square. 2,000 by 2,000 pixels, or 1,200 by 1,200 pixels. That's usually what we do. Not less than 1,000 pixels on the longest side, and if it's square, not less than 1,000 on both sides. Height and width, right? Okay. Regarding the in-use photos, you want to show your product in action. This means usually using a professional photographer and or a model. Okay. Now I know all of you are good-looking people. I know all of you want to have a great photo, and you think, oh, I can just get somebody with their iPhone to go out in my backyard and take a picture of me, wearing the barbecue grill gloves or with the apron on or whatever. But it's probably better to have a model, because a model knows how to stand, how to poise their arms and legs, how to address the camera correctly, and will be right up the middle of your target demographic, which is usually a 27-year-old female. on Amazon. But some products that are, you know, male-oriented, you're going to want a male model. That's why we use a professional photographer, is because that stuff happens kind of automatically in the background. They're already used to it. They know how to do it. They will do it for you, and it's not expensive. You can use our photo and graphics teams if you want to get professional photography with action photos and things like that. The thing is that this adds a huge increase to your unit session percentage, your USP, and we're going to show you some USPs here in a minute that are proof in the pudding of good images and the effect that they have. So that's how to create world-class images. Don't skimp on this. Like I said before, images are the #1 thing that will sell your product. It's just like if you go into the store and you go to the shelf and you see a product that you're interested in, what do you do with it? You pick it up in your hand, you look at the front, you might turn it around and look at the back, you might kind of feel it and hold on to it. You have this visceral experience contacting and interacting with the product in your hand. And before you make your buying decision, put it in your cart, that's what you do. We have to duplicate that on Amazon the best that we can. So what we want to do is we want to have those in-use photos showing how the product fits into your life. Because when you're picking up a product off the shelf, that's what you're trying to determine. Is this me? Is this what I want? Is this going to be something that I would enjoy having or that I need to have? And is this the best value for my money and all those kinds of things? All going on at once in your head, right? All right, so we have a couple of questions. Is there a requirement of having the logo actually branded on the product itself? No, there's no requirement that you do, but I will tell you that you should. Because if you put the logo branded on the product itself, then you can have that logo appear on the product in the picture, even on the main image. What you cannot do is inset the logo on the main image. But if the logo is naturally embossed or engraved or, you know, appearing on the product itself, then you'll have that evident in the main image. And that's a good thing because that deters people from going on and trying to sell a generic product on your listing, or at least on the listing that you created. And so we want to avoid that if we can. Somebody else is also saying, you know, for mobile, that to display properly, you need portrait shape images, yes or no? And the answer is no, because some people on an iPad are looking at that landscape, and some of them are looking at them portrait. So we use square images. Square images also allow us, if you think about it, to put something across the top of the image and across the bottom of the image, so the image looks rectangular in the horizontal, like a landscape, but then we can put words or call-outs or things across the top and across the bottom. So it is still a square image, but it's appearing as a landscape with call-outs. So there are some things that we do depending on the product. Of course, some products that's what we want to do, some products it's not. But we always do square images. Somebody's asking, can you put the logo in the pictures but not have it on the product? And I just answered that. On the main image, you cannot put it, you cannot just Photoshop the logo on there. In almost every category, they do not allow that. Now, on other images in your image stack, sometimes they do allow that. It's going to be dependent on the department that you are listing in. So you need to look up the image requirements of the department that you're planning to list in, and that's readily available in the help section on Amazon. Okay. George is asking thoughts on using a mannequin. Okay, it is prohibited in most of Amazon's departments to use a mannequin. And then Faisal is asking something about the last seminar, the spreadsheets and so forth. So guys, from the last seminar, maybe you could address that one with Faisal directly. How do people list variations in toys, Anna is saying. Okay, so I am not going to cover the how-to of creating flat files, which is a very advanced topic. But that's how it's done. You have to download an inventory file, fill in all of the required information, including the parent, child, and variation information in the flat file, and then after that, upload it into the system. It's a very advanced way of doing it that's only available to professional sellers. So if you're a professional seller, if you want to be, then that's something that you should learn and get good at. It's the type of thing that we do high-level coaching on, and it opens up a whole new world of ways that you can work on listings. But we're not going to cover that in this session. We're going to focus on the basics of how to create a listing that converts, and then you can worry about making variations of that listing later. Somebody else is saying that they started to sell a generic product. This is Daniel. Before adding a logo to it, am I likely to run into issues if I want to add the logo to the product and sell in the same listing after it's already been selling? Okay, so if you start selling a generic product, you should always add the logo to it. Specifically because it's generic. Otherwise, other people could come on and sell the same generic product as you. They could go source it. They could find the same factory or manufacturer that you found. They could go sell the product, and then you're going to be splitting the buy box with your competition. And pretty soon, instead of winning the buy box 100% of the time, you're only winning it 50, and then 30, and then 10, and then 8% of the time. And all the time and effort that you put into selling that product and creating that listing and everything kind of erodes. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is make sure that you put that logo on your product. And at least if it's a generic product, and you're going to put your logo on it, at least in your other images, if not your main image. In your other images, make sure that logo appears, okay? All right. Anna is saying, when I try to list the file variation in add a product, it says not allowed. Well, there are some departments in which it is not allowed to have variations. So what you need to do is research the particular department, and then that'll be the answer. Okay, so we're getting a bunch of other questions here, and I'm going to have to move forward. So we'll probably have to save some of these questions or have the guys in the background answer these, because we've got to move forward here. And I want to show you some bad images. Okay, bad images. Here we go. That is a bad image. Not to mention the price, which is $1,078 for the wheel. Why is this a bad image? Let me count the ways. First of all, there's only one. You should have at least 5 images in your image stack. Okay? Second of all, it's not on a pure white background, as you can see. Thirdly, what people are buying is the whole wheel, and what is pictured in the image is not the whole wheel. It is only a slice. So what's in the image is inaccurate. It's not on a white background, and there's only one of them. So this is bad. You do not want to make those mistakes with your images. Okay, here's another one. What's wrong with this image of wolf urine lure? Okay, wolf urine. If you're going to sell wolf urine, let's make sure that you put it on a white background and you have more than one image. You probably want to see the back, because I'm going to want to see the ingredients. I mean, I know wolf urine has one main ingredient. I would expect that would be the urine of a wolf. But there's also probably other ingredients in there, and so the other side panels and rear panel of this particular package, and of course some in-use photos, because why would somebody buy wolf urine? Okay? It's to repel deer. It's to keep them away from your cabin or whatever. So you may want to have a picture that illustrates that. Nice, beautiful cabin scene with no deer in it. Okay, those kinds of things ought to be here, and they're not. That's why this is bad. Okay, let's look at the next one. I hope you like my examples, because I'm going to reuse this one. Yodeling pickle. Again, not only is it a terrible title, it's also one picture, and that's it. It doesn't really tell me anything about the yodeling pickle, how I can use it. It doesn't give me really anything that is of value here, right? Bad. Okay, next. Let's take a look at, yes, fresh whole rabbit. Yeah. Okay, so what's wrong with this picture? Aside from the fact that this is totally disgusting. Maybe if you're going to sell fresh whole rabbit, maybe you could come up with a picture that looks a little better than this. Even though it's on a white background, it's very small. Okay, it needs to be bigger, more detailed. You need to have more images in your stack. This is just a terrible, terrible. Yeah, Marisol says, gross. Yeah, it looks like an embryo. Yeah, okay, it does. But I'm trying to grab your attention and focus on the problems. Don't produce pictures that are gross or disgusting or revolting. Make sure that they're White background, they're big, they're going to communicate what you want. And by the way, this is a terrible title, isn't it? Fresh Whole Rabbit? Doesn't tell me a whole lot. Is it, dehydrated? Is this fresh from the butcher or whatever? Am I going to, get this in a box full of, CO2 or something to keep it cold, dry ice, right? I mean, what am I getting? I have no idea. All right. Those would be bad. Let's take a look at the good. Good images. Now, this title is probably a little bit long, but look at this image. This is a nice picture of the product. It's large photo, and it's on a white background, okay? And the next image in the stack lets me know that there are adjustable lights inside, so it can be any color that I wanted, bright or dim. So what they've done is they've taken this product, they've shown it in use in different colors, and they have illustrated that feature, and then from there you can see that they have added text. 7 color changing LED light. Each light is adjustable between bright and dim. Okay, what they're doing is calling out the features or the benefits of the product. Not in the main image, but in the next one. Your second image needs to be interesting. The first one needs to be specific about the product. You're in the right place, you've got the right product. Second image needs to be interesting and grab your eye. So multiple colors or sizes or styles or whatever grabs your eye. Now, I mean, shoot, if you're selling a pet leash, put a picture of the pet in there, because that's what grabs people's eyes, right? If you're selling baby clothes, put a picture of the baby in there, right? The stuff that matters, that people react to emotionally, need to be in the second image if possible, and people react emotionally to color. All right. Third image. This is nice because it tells you about the mist button, the light button. It gives you some dimensions. It compares it to the size of your iPhone. It's, wow, okay, I'm getting a real picture in my mind of what this product is, how big it is, and if this is going to really fit my lifestyle. Here's how to use it. Intermittent mode or continuous mode, okay? And then here's the instructions. And then here are the maintenance. I mean, how many questions are being answered by these images? Like all of them, right? How do I maintain it? How do I set it up? How do I run it? What are its capabilities? What colors does it do? Oh, there it is. That's what I want to have at the end of the day, right? I want to have a nice, relaxing massage with my aroma, essential oil, cool mist humidifier right there, helping me to really get immersed in that experience. And this is not a picture of me. This is a model or two, right? So this is a good image stack because it has in-use images. It has images that illustrate use, that answer questions, and that engage the buyer. Okay? That would be good. Let's take a look at these. This is the Miracle Grow Aero Garden Classic. Okay. What do you see in this image? This is what we call an unboxing style image. There's the box, okay, the bottle of liquid plant food, the DVDs, the little cups down there, and the actual unit itself, and the light that goes over the top of the unit, and it's bursting with beautiful green plants. Okay? This tells me everything I get. It's a kit, it has lots of stuff in it, and it's all laid out. Then there's an image of just the product, and this is technically an in-use image because you don't get all the plants with it. It's what happens after you grow them. It's just a seed pod kit, but this is what the end result is that I want. Okay? Or maybe I want some nice, cherry tomatoes. Here are the dimensions. So this gives me, again, another great idea of how much space is this going to take up on my countertop. We're answering questions. There's the in-use photos, and although this model is not a 27-year-old female, it may be a good fit for the demographic of the type of people that would buy this product. Here's a close-up of the LED lights that show that they are giving you full spectrum, different color lights and so forth to aid in the growth of the plants. Okay, So all of these images, and by the way, there's a video here we're going to skip because unless you are Amazon itself, and you can see this product ships from, sold by Amazon. Amazon itself can add video into the image stack. We generally cannot unless we have a special arrangement with Amazon, okay? But we don't need the video. We can do all we need to do right here in this photo stack with 6 images. All right. Let's take a look here. What one was that one? Was that 6C there? Nope, here's the next one, iRobot, good images, good image stack. First one is just the product. Next one is in use, captures your mind. You know, you look at that, you say, what's that in the picture? You know, this little tiny thumbnail over here, what is that? As you're looking at it, what is that? And it makes you want to go put your cursor over it and see. And then here's another one of it cleaning a hardwood floor. And here's one of it bumping into a wall and turning. It's not actually touching the wall, it senses the wall and it turns. Wow, that's cool. And wow, it goes through doorways, and here's the internal cutaway view of what's actually happening inside. These are good illustrations, excellent graphics, a good way to show the lifestyle and the in-use of that product, okay? Let's take a look at this next one. Live ladybugs, 4,500 ladybugs. Now, how would you, if you were going to sell live ladybugs, how would you do the images, okay? Think about it for a minute. I will take a drink of water. Okay, ladybugs. Obviously, you have to have the main image of the product, which we have here, and it's good. Here's the next image. If you look on my screen, you can see that it's hard to tell what that image is. So the first thing is to have an image that invites you to hover over it or click on it. And so I'm going to do that. Here's the second image. Wow, I see a whole lot of ladybugs in there. Okay, I can see that these ladybugs are all over the place in here. They're in use. Okay, it's a real photo. It's not photoshopped, and it tells me kind of what I'm really going to get. And then the next image, closer up, I can see the quality of some of these ladybugs that are really good. And next image, even closer up, good quality ladybug right here that I can zoom in on, right? And I can see what the benefit of the ladybugs are. They go onto these plants and they get rid of the other pests. Okay, so those kinds of images, even for something as weird as ladybugs, good images make a difference. All right, let's look at the last one. The last one is Amazon Echo, and the reason I chose this is because Amazon knows how its own algorithm works. It knows its own system, and so Amazon is a good place to look if you want ideas on how to compose excellent photos. So take a look at this photo. It says Amazon Echo, and it has always ready, connected, and fast, so it's calling out some benefits. Just ask. This is calling out the benefit of the verbal commands, and it shows it. I mean, it's hard to show an inanimate object in use, especially when it's something you're definitely not supposed to touch. You just interact with it by talking with it. So what do? Is they put all the logos of all of the available services off to the side. And it's in a manner that's not boring. It's kind of warped and curved, and so it's real, it's useful, and it illustrates something. This thing has a lot of stuff built into it. Okay, there's the main image. The main image is just that, white background, basic. But look, in use, sitting on a bookshelf. That's what it might look like in your house. In use, sitting on an end table. That's what it might look like in your house. Here is a cutaway illustrating how the speaker manages to get excellent bass. And that really is graphics work that's done that shows how that speaker is inverted, and it fires against the wooden shelf or table or whatever, and takes advantage of the acoustics that way. And so, you know, all those things are excellent. You see that they accomplished this in 5 photos. They do have these videos. Again, we're not going to worry about the videos. But these 5 images here tell us a lot about what Amazon is looking for from you, because they're going to do what's best for them, and so you just have to follow along with what they do, and then you've got some good ideas for your own images. All right, questions on images before we move on. Grant, by the way, wanted to clarify, saying that we did not, he says that I said we do not need the logo on the product, but we can have it on the image. Okay, Grant, let me be absolutely, positively, 100% clear with you and everybody else. Your main image cannot have the logo photoshopped onto it. If the logo is on the product, like what you see on this Amazon Echo, it's there. It's not photoshopped on, it's always there. That's where it goes on the physical product itself. That's fine, okay? But see this image right here where you put Amazon Echo at the top, you can't do that on your main image. You can Photoshop that onto your other images, but not your primary, okay? So hopefully that will take care of it. All right. Emily's asking if it's okay to Photoshop your product into an in-use photo, and the answer is yes, it's okay, and we do that a lot as long as it looks good, it looks natural, it meets all the other criteria and guidelines. That's fine. Okay. Somebody else is asking, get ready to list samples. This is Jerusha. I'm getting ready to be listing samples of a product that is already on Amazon. The only thing is the color I have is not on Amazon. Do I need to create a new listing for the new color? The answer is yes. You need to create a new listing for the new color. How would I do this with a same product on Amazon but new color? You are asking a question that is a very advanced question. This is not a simple thing, but they do have, if you look around for it, they do have a variation wizard that will help you to create variations. But this is something that I would do with a flat file as a professional seller, having learned how to manipulate flat files and do feeds in the back end of Amazon. It's much easier to do it that way. If you don't know how to do that, and if this is your first time and you're kind of getting your feet wet a little bit here, what you can do is you can call customer support for Seller Central. And you can tell them that you have a product that you want to add a variation, same brand, same everything else, just a different color, and ask the catalog specialist to do it for you. You create the listing first, then you contact Amazon with a catalog question and tell them you want to talk to a catalog specialist. That's the name of the customer service rep, the catalog specialist. You ask for the catalog specialist, and don't let them tell you you can't talk to the catalog specialist. Make sure that you continue. It might take some time for you to get through to the right person, but once you get through to an actual catalog specialist and you explain the situation, they should be able to do it for you. Madalena says Amazon's first picture has the logos. Yes, that's correct. Amazon on its Amazon Echo listing is breaking its own rule. It's putting its main image as the second image. It can do that. We cannot. So our main image has to be the first image, and then this would be the second image. They have these two reversed. But nonetheless, it is still the quality of the image that I'm trying to use, to demonstrate here. Okay? All right. George says, I have logos on many of my images. None have been flagged. Do you think it's hurting my ranking? No, it's not hurting your ranking, but Amazon has 461 million products on it. I mean, they will get around to it, flagging it at some point. So you're probably just getting away with it for now. That's the bottom line, George. Okay, so there we go. Good images, bad images. Let's move on to bullets. We want to build bullet points that sell. I'm going to pick up the pace here and go even faster. We got to emphasize the benefits and the features in the bullet points. The bullet points should be medium in length. You want to use all 5 of the bullet point fields. You want to put your most effective or most powerful one first and the second most effective one last. And the reason is because the first one they see is the one that should convince them to buy if they haven't already been convinced. And if they still are not convinced, they're going to start to scroll. And you want to capture them before they scroll down to the point where they're looking at a competitive product, at somebody else's product. Okay, so right here is the first bullet point. This should be the most important one. This last one, always getting smarter and adding new features, plus thousands of skills like Uber, Domino's, and more. They're playing on my emotions here. Are you hungry? Domino's. Do you need a ride? Uber. They're trying to help you see how this can be a part of your life in a practical setting. So they've done this. And you'll notice that I don't see any other products on this page, but if I start to scroll and this doesn't get me, then I'm going to go through the product description, which on Amazon is really nice, okay? But eventually, if that doesn't work, I'm still scrolling. That means I'm not happy. I'm still scrolling. I'm not happy yet. All of a sudden I'm comparing and I'm getting technical details, and Amazon on its own listings doesn't do this, but if you pick any one of these other listings, you're going to see that they will start showing you competitors' products. Okay? Frequently bought together, and they're starting to show competitor products and then sponsored products relating to this. Now we got the Samsung and the iLife and the EcoVax, and if what they're basically trying to tell you is that if you didn't like this one, if you started scrolling, then they're going to start presenting your competitor products to the customer there at that point. You want to avoid them scrolling. You don't want them to scroll if you can avoid it. Okay? All right, let's go to some bad bullet points. This is the milk carton hood. White, one size. All right, not a bad title. Maybe could use a little bit more information. Why would somebody wear a milk carton hood? I don't know. But look at the bullets here. 100% polyester, hand washed, 3/4 of an inch high. Does that look 3/4 of an inch high to you? No. Does it look 6 inches wide to you? No. Milk carton hood. It's the name of the product. You don't want to repeat that in your bullet point. Thousands of costumes. No, this is not thousands of costumes. This is one costume. The image is terrible, by the way. You can see, or maybe you can't, but it's just bad resolution. Accessories for adults or for kids and adults of all ages. Okay, bad because we have very little information. This does not really tell me anything. It doesn't call out the benefits. It doesn't really cause me to say, wow, this is exactly what I've been looking for. So bad bullets. Let's take a look at the next one. This one is inflatable toast. The inflatable toast image here, as you can see, does contain a picture of the product, and that is allowed, and so the logo inflatable toast is visible. But I don't know why anybody would want inflatable toast, but let's take a look at the bullet points. Oh, there aren't any. No bullet points. That's bad. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. This is 5 pounds of human body fat. It's a replica. I don't know why somebody would want to buy 5 pounds of human body fat unless they want to sit it on their desk and remind them of why they're hungry and on a diet, because I want to get rid of that. Maybe that's the reason for it. $62 for a replica of 5 pounds of human body fat. Wow, why would somebody pay $62.80 for this? Let's check out the bullet points. Oh wait, there aren't any. Okay, that's bad, right? Let's take a look at good bullet points. This one is good bullet points. This is the 3-compartment bento reusable food storage containers with lids, set of 10. Okay. What do we have here? Stackable for daily meal prep. This is a feature followed by a benefit. Prepare your meals in advance and stack them in your fridge. This is a benefit. Saves me time. Okay. Patented design for portion control. This is a feature. The portion control is a feature, not a benefit. What is the benefit of portion control? By the way, I probably ought to stop and explain the difference between a feature and a benefit, because most people, what you think is a benefit is usually a feature. So if you were to tell me, for example, that this product has a patented design for portion control, you might say the patented design is the feature, portion control is the benefit. I would say, well, what does the portion control do for me? What do I get out of the portion control? Oh, I can keep track of how much food I eat. Well, What do I get out of keeping track of how much food I eat? Oh, I can count my calories. Well, what do I get out of counting my calories? Oh, well, if I'm counting my calories accurately, then I know exactly how I'm doing on my diet. And what do I get out of knowing what I'm doing on my diet? I know whether or not I can have dessert, and I like dessert. Okay? The benefit is that I'm going to be able to stay on my diet and acquire the attractive body that I want, to fit into the clothes that I want, to be socially happy with the way I look and healthy and have energy and those things. Those are benefits. Portion control is a feature that helps me attain the real benefit that I'm after, which is a sexy body. Okay? Reusable, microwave, and dishwasher safe. These are features. Okay, what's the benefit? It can withstand a microwave and dishwashing machine. Save time doing the dishes. Save time is a benefit. I hate wasting time. That's the benefit. It's reusable. It saves me money because it's reusable. Saving time and saving money are two great benefits. You could even say, what do I get out of the deal if I save money? Well, that means that I can spend my money on things that are more important, like my family, my kids, my wife, right? So always keep in mind the difference between benefits and features. Drill down on the features until you hit the real benefit, and the real benefit is, what is it that I'm getting out of the deal? What do I get for me by using your product? How do I end up becoming better off? What's my motivation for buying your product? Okay, that's the kind of stuff that you want to have in the bullet points. Let's take a look at these. Simply the best whiskey stones. Okay, that's a claim. Let's see if it's backed up. Handcrafted by real skilled craftsmen with decades of experience. Oh, okay, that's a feature. Made from 100% soapstone. That's a feature. No fillers. Then cut into perfect square cubes. This is a misspelling right here. Squares should not have that S on the end, to become the best whiskey stone. So they're telling me how it becomes the best whiskey stones, but I don't have the benefit in here really quite yet. But we are getting into reusable and dishwasher safe, and so no liquid or soap will get trapped inside, making them reusable, naturally non-porous. So they're giving me a lot of features here. 100% safe. Safety is a benefit. Okay, that's all good. Soapstone, blah, blah, blah. 100% guarantee is a benefit. It's actually a feature, but the benefit is that I know that I can buy this with confidence, and having confidence and feeling good about my purchase is a benefit. Okay, highest quality pure soapstone, blah blah blah. Only grade A virgin soapstone, you know. So it's not some, you know, dirty piece of rock that some dude picked up in his backyard and carved into a square. All right, not chemically treated. So these are good. They could be better. All right, they could be better, but you're getting the idea, what we're looking for. Here's another one. These are barbecue gloves, okay? Eco Grips. Full protection from 425-degree danger. All right, now we're getting into it. 425-degree danger. I don't want my hands to be burned. 425 degrees is hot, and that's what you get in a barbecue. Love them or we'll send your money back. Okay, buy with confidence, right? Only gloves endorsed by some dude. I don't know who that is. Martha Stewart I've heard of before. Endorsements sometimes work, sometimes don't. If it's somebody that you know or it's a household name, then sometimes it works. Set of 2 gloves. That's helpful to know. I'm getting both, not just one. Perfect for cooking, grilling, campfire, and more. These are features. Okay. Read before buying. Other sellers don't want you to know this. This is kind of a fear factor that's going in there. So they're doing a lot of things in these bullet points. Somebody, by the way, asked, can we finish the bullet points with, I think it's Madalena asked it, can we finish the bullet points with 100% satisfaction promise or guarantee? Yes, you can. You can finish it with that. You can lead with it. You can put it in the middle right here, lifetime warranty, 100% satisfaction guarantee, or whatever. That's, I think, always a good thing to point out, that you have a satisfaction guarantee or a lifetime warranty or something like that, so that people can buy with confidence, okay? All right. Those are examples of good bullets. If you have any other questions on bullets, throw them in to the question box. Somebody's asking, by the way, Julie's asking, can we do a webinar on how to make and use flat files? Julie, no, we cannot do a webinar on that. I'm sorry. The reason is because it would take a lot longer than a 2-hour window to teach what needs to be taught. That's the type of thing we do with advanced coaching. Advanced coaching in a tutorial setting like that, I do a flat file class. It takes about 2 hours for the class, and then implementation of everything. The first time I built a flat file myself took me about 8 hours. I'm down to about 30 minutes now I can do. So it's not something we can really do on a webinar, but it is the type of thing that if you feel like you want to get some coaching on, that you could ask Ayana, and you'll see her email address in the end here. You can ask Ayana if you would like to chat with me for a minute about what options would exist for the next I guess coaching sessions that'll be going up. We do coaching sessions like that from time to time, and so you just want to sign up for the next one. Madeline is also saying, what are flat files? And the answer to that is it's a spreadsheet that you populate with a whole bunch of information and then you upload into Amazon's system directly, instead of using the website to copy and paste all of your product information in when you build a listing. It's a way to do it faster and more effectively and have more control over the listing process. Okay? All right. Somebody's saying, I just arrived. This is awesome. Will there be a repeat? Yes, Kevin, they are recording this and you'll be able to watch it again. Okay, let's see. Jason is asking, I always thought the bullet points needed to be filled with keywords. Isn't this one of the priorities? Bullet points, yes, should be keyword dense, and so should your product description. But it depends on the product as to how many keywords you need to put in there, and really how focused you want it to be. Sometimes you really are only focusing on 4 or 5 keywords, and so they're naturally going to be all through the product description and the bullet points. So yes, that is something and a good point to just bring out. Make sure that you have your primary keyword and your secondary keywords prominently in the bullet points as well as in the product description. Okay. Let's move forward to the next thing, the product description. How to build a high-converting product description. Well, to build a high-converting product description, you want to keep it simple. You want to restate what was in your bullet points. You want to make it keyword-rich, which is something that we just talked about. You want to have one standard product description for each product if you're doing variations. So you try and use the same product description for all the variations if you can. Most of the time, you cannot add images or HTML or video, that kind of thing, to the product description or to the image stack unless you have a vendor relationship with Amazon, or if there's some, if you can do the enhanced listing stuff. There's some ability in the enhanced listings to do some special stuff. That's advanced stuff that you're going to have to just kind of investigate yourself, but most of the time you're not going to be able to do that. Looks like people are still confused about wanting to know what's going on with flat files. Look, if you want help with flat files, which is doing product feeds, uploading products into Amazon, especially if you're doing variations or if you're doing complex products, then you can reach out to Ayana, and I will give you the email address to her at the end. You can reach out to her and tell her that you're interested in coaching, specifically for flat files, and she will pass that message along to me, and I will get with you and discuss it with you, figure out what the best way is to handle your particular need with flat files, okay? Julie's asking if FBA Prep does my product photography, how long does it take from the time my products arrive to them to have this done? Well, it depends on the extent that you want done. When you reach out to Ayana, she will give you an estimate. It also depends on how backed up and busy we are. But generally speaking, we try and get it done within 7 to 10 days, your entire listing, not just your images, not just the graphics design, but also the all of the text, the titles, bullet points, product description, and back-end keyword research, all of that. So it's It's pretty quick. And what sort of cost is involved for 5 photos of one model to show an in-use product? Again, it depends on a few things, how many variations you have and so forth, but the pricing is on the website, fbaprep.com, so you can go look that up. It's not too expensive. You know, $400, $500 or so, you get a full listing, everything you need, you know, all of it. So that's kind of about the ballpark that you should target. Okay, let's look at. I'm not going to go through, you know, good product description, bad product description like what we did before, because frankly, what Amazon wants is a blob of text. They really it's kind of crazy, but that's what they want for the product description, a blob of text. So, you know, if we come down here and we look, this product description is not a blob of text because they're using some of the enhanced listing stuff. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. This is a blob of text product description. You can see it starts with whiskey stones and ends with these make perfect gifts. This is what they're looking for, and the reason they want a blob of text style is because it looks good on mobile devices. On a mobile device, the product description comes first before the bullet points with most listings in most departments. So your product description really needs to restate the bullets because it's the first time mobile users are going to see those bullet points and you need to engage them. So really the best solution is to make a single paragraph of text that restates the same concepts that were in your bullet points so that mobile users and so that scrollers you have another shot at them before they scroll too far and end up with your competitive products. Okay. Let's talk about your conversion rate. People have been asking, you know, how do we know if our listing is converting well? How do I know if the images are effective? How do I know if the listing is effective? Okay, so I'm going to show you some actual statistics and information here to show you what you're actually trying to accomplish. I just went in this morning and grabbed a quick snapshot out of one of our accounts, and I'm going to show you some of that stuff. Kelly's saying, when using FBA prep photography, would I have to permanently forfeit one of my products? I don't know what permanently forfeit means, but you send a product to the photographer to have the photographer take the photos. So yes, you have to buy that product for the photographer. And the photographer generally doesn't send it back. They usually give it to the model, actually, as part of the compensation. So you can either pay more and have the product sent back to you, or you can use it to give to the model as part of the model's compensation for being a part of your photography. Okay. Let's take a look at the conversion rate. How to track your USP. First of all, please note, do not tweak the listing often. Once you upload it, you've done all the work, you built this beautiful listing according to all the things that we've talked about, titles, bullet points, product description, and I'm going to show you some back-end keyword research in just a minute. Don't tweak it. Don't go in and change it very often. If you do go in and try and get Amazon to change that listing, only change one element. Don't go in and change all the photos. Change one photo. Don't go in and change the entire headline. Change one word of the name of the product, which is also the headline. Don't change all your bullet points. Change one of them. Don't go in and change one photo and one bullet point. Choose one thing, change it, wait 2 weeks. About 14 days is what it takes for it to play out to see what the effect was. So if you feel like you're not getting a very high conversion rate and you've done all the things that we've described here and you want to start testing, then go change one thing about the listing. Write one new bullet point or change one word or one phrase in the headline or one photo and upload that and then give it 14 days to see how it plays out. Okay? And also you have to make sure that you adjust your expectation based on cycles, because sometimes some products are hot in the summertime, and if you're trying to fix a listing in the middle of the winter, it might be harder. Or if you're fixing a listing during, you know, the very, very busy season, you know, holiday season or something, then Amazon might not even allow that to happen. Okay, so how do you find your USP? Here's how you find your USP. You go into your Seller Central account, and under Reports, you click on Business Reports. And once you click there, then, oh, I am getting the color wheel here just for a minute. I'm sorry about that, but there it goes. You will then have this particular menu pop up on the left-hand side of your Seller Central account, and you're looking for detail page sales and traffic. That's the report that you want to look at to see what your conversion rate is. So again, under Reports, click Business Reports, then click Detail Page Sales and Traffic, and that will take you to here. Again, I shot this screenshot this morning. These are actual unit session percentages from actual products in one of our accounts. I just grabbed a screen full of them to show you. You want your unit session percentage to be above 10%. If it's below 10%, you're doing something wrong in most cases. Now, there are exceptions, and by the way, there are exceptions to all of this. I'm trying to give you the general rules, and then you're going to have exceptions based on the type of product that you do. So, for example, if you're running a ton of Facebook traffic to your Amazon listing, okay, your unit session percentage is going to be really, 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 really low. It's not going to look anything like these. But it's not because of Amazon, it's not because of the listing. It's because of the type of traffic that you're running from outside of Amazon. Okay, so the unit session percentage, you want it to be above 10%. We consider that good. If it's above 15%, that's excellent. If it's above 20%, you are absolutely crushing it. So see, this first one here is about 20%, the next one's about 18.5%, the next one's about 18, 17.5%, one of these is 40.1%, 34.5%, 13.68, and 29.49. So we have very high unit session percentages across the board on these products. That means that our listings are very effective. Okay? It also means that if we're going to drive traffic, if we're going to run pay-per-click or any other type of marketing to get people to buy these products, that if, for example, if 30% of the people that go to your listing purchase, then you kind of have an idea of how much you can spend on marketing to get a person there, don't you? This makes all your other work on Amazon much easier. You have to know what your USP is for each product, and it changes daily. So you want to go look at this every week or so to update yourself so that you know exactly where you are in your conversions, and work on improving any listings that are not converting at least 10%. Okay, let's talk about the back end. We're running out of time, so I'm going to do this as fast as I can. On the back end, and I'm going to show you where the back end is, don't worry. You want to fill in as many fields as are relevant to your product. You want to do research that's relevant. So that means top keywords. You want to find out what the top keywords are that convert for your product, and then you want to fill those into the generic keyword field. So our whole goal here is to fill in as many fields as are relevant and to populate the generic keyword field without commas with relevant top keywords. Okay, that's our goal for the back end. To do that, inside of Amazon, you're going to go to the More Details tab as you're creating a product. And you're going to fill out, and by the way, click Advanced View so that you can see all these, and it's going to go down and down and down and down and down, and there's sometimes 50 to 100 fields. Okay, so put in the information that is pertinent or relevant to your product. Also, right here in the keywords area, as you can see, put in the search terms right there. That's where they go, the generic search terms. And then you can populate also subject matter, other attributes, and intended uses if you want. Sometimes it really matters. For example, if you have dog food that's made of salmon and chicken and beef, then you might, in other attributes, you might put in salmon, chicken, beef. Just to make sure that people know what it is, and if they're searching for dog food by flavor, they can find your product that way. Let's take a look at the keyword research, by the way. These, again, keywords go into the big red box here under search terms when you're creating your product setup on Amazon. The way to do keyword research in 5 minutes or less. First, you're going to check Amazon's suggestions. Then you're going to check Ace Inspector Pro's suggestions. You're going to check Google Trends, and you're going to use those tools to come up with focused and relevant keywords. And remember, relevancy is your top priority. You do not want a keyword that's irrelevant to your product. Okay? So how do you do Amazon suggestions? Well, this is fairly easy. You just go onto Amazon and start typing. And let's say I'm going to sell tennis balls. So as I type tennis ball, what happens is Amazon starts giving me suggestions here. Tennis balls for dogs, tennis ball hopper, tennis balls for walkers, launcher, basket, bulk, case, thrower. Why is Amazon suggesting these? Well, it's because Amazon's algorithm is smart and knows that these keywords people buy. A lot of people search for these keywords. So these are keywords, if you're going to sell tennis balls, that you might want to consider putting into your listing, because they're coming suggestions right from Amazon, right in the search box. Okay, that's method number one. Start typing the keyword that you think is the main one. I mean, if you're going to sell tennis balls, obviously tennis ball would be the primary keyword, right? Start typing your primary keyword and see what other suggestions come up on Amazon. That'll get you started. So here I have typed in tennis balls and I've selected the number one organic listing. It's a Turna Mesh carry bag of 18 tennis balls. Good title, not too long, not too short. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Excellent, I'm in the right place. Good bullets. Okay, this is a good listing. My Ace Inspector Pro tool over here on the right, and by the way, Ace Inspector Pro is a tool that I use and it's indispensable. You've got to have some tool. This is the best one out there. You can subscribe to it. It's not expensive. Ace Inspector Pro goes into Chrome, so it's a Chrome add-in, and you'll see how that works here in just a second. But I think you can go to aceinspector.com, ASINSPECTOR.com, and sign up for it if you want. But this tells me what the sales rank is. The estimated sales revenue per month for this product is $15,000. They sell 951 units a month. Gives me the sale price. It tells me all of Amazon's fees, everything right here in a single place. It's very, very helpful. But in this case, what I'm actually looking for is right up here. In the upper right-hand corner of my Chrome browser, I'm going to see this little logo. It's the Ace Inspector logo. I'm going to click on that logo, and it's going to then open up this whole analysis of this product, okay? This tennis ball product. The average sales rank being 833, the lowest price at $15.99. The average number of reviews, 1,133 reviews, 3.9 stars. But even better than that, and all these other statistics and numbers that it gathers for me, is right over here on the right-hand side, these little tiny icons. There's one that has a key. And if I hover over it, it says Get Product Keywords. Now I can get my keywords, right? I just click on that, and here's what I get. It analyzes that listing and pulls the keywords. It tells me, for these keywords, tennis balls bulk, case, and so forth, what position this product is. So if I type in tennis balls, this product is number 1. If I type in tennis balls case, this product is number 27 on all of Amazon. If I type in tennis balls Wilson, this product is number 14. And over here, number of results, this gives me an idea of the amount of searches, the amount of activity on that particular keyword. So, something that has a number of results being only 1, Turna Mesh carry bag of 18 tennis balls, I mean, there's not very many people searching for that. But you're getting a lot more activity down here on tennis balls case, tennis balls bulk, tennis balls, okay, tennis balls for dogs. So these are keywords, these that have the larger number of results are keywords that we want to use and focus on, because they are keywords that are using or having a lot of traffic. And you want to put your product in front of traffic, right? You're not going to sell it if it's way, way, way in the back of the store. You want it in front of the people as they come in the front door. And this is the equivalent of that. Coming up with the right keyword is the equivalent of putting your product on the first shelf that they see, the first page that they see. That's what you want to do. So that's the second method, is you use Ace Inspector Pro to pull the list of the keywords and give you an idea of which ones are really working well. And then down here at the bottom of your screen in Ace Inspector Pro, there's another one called Keywords and Google Trends. This little magnifying glass looking thing. Well, if you click that, it opens up a Google screen that shows the primary keyword tennis balls. It shows it trending over time. This is a slightly downward trend, except recently, since 2015, it started to trend upward. It also shows how cyclical this is. So every July, this thing peaks. Well, that makes sense because tennis is a summer sport, right? So this helps me to know when I should launch my product, what season it's going to be the peak. And it also helps me to understand if this keyword in this product itself is kind of in a neutral trend or a downward trend or an upward trend. And look down here in the lower left-hand corner, related keywords. This is coming from Google, and some of these are not going to be relevant. Okay, table tennis balls. Table tennis balls are not relevant to tennis balls, are they? They're completely different. So you would not want to put table tennis in your listing. Okay. But some of these other ones, Wilson tennis balls bulk, best tennis balls, dogs tennis balls, these are all coming from Google as often searched by people who are looking for tennis balls. So this is another place where you can gather some additional keyword ideas. All right, so once you've gathered your keyword ideas, again using Google, using Ace Inspector Pro, and using Amazon itself. Right here. Once you've gathered keywords from all three of those sources, you want to kind of consolidate them into one list and type them right in here into the search terms and make sure that those same keywords are found in your bullet points and in your product description, and at least your primary keyword needs to be found in the title of the product too. Okay? That's the key. I'm going to say it again. After you consolidate the keywords that are the ones that you think are most relevant and are going to give you the best results from Google, from Ace Inspector Pro, based on the volume here, and from Amazon itself, based on their suggestions, whichever ones are relevant. Tennis ball launcher might not be relevant, but it might be because these balls might be excellent for use with a tennis ball launcher. Okay, so in that case, maybe it ought to be there. Once you get all those words together, again, what your goal here is to put them into the search terms box. That's the keyword research that you need to do. It doesn't take a lot of time, but there is an art to it, and you'll get the hang of it as you do some. So here we are with the last big question. Should I outsource listing creation? All right. Yes. How's that for an answer? You should outsource your listing creation. And here are the reasons why. We at FBA Prep, we use some advanced keyword research tools. Beyond even what Ace Inspector Pro will do, we have some even more powerful, even more advanced tools that we also use. So the three different methods I show you today, we add on several additional methods that are proprietary. I mean, they're things that we've created or invented. They're apps and tools that we've built that work very, very well. And we know they work because you saw our USPs from this morning just a few minutes ago. We have experienced writers that are trained for Amazon. They know exactly how to write, what kind of voice to use, who your target audience is, and how to portray the information and weave all of your keywords and other information into those listings seamlessly. We use professional photographers and a professional graphics design team so that you can get all of the callouts and graphics, illustrations, and in-use photos done well. And the main reason is that your time should be spent making critical decisions, not messing with your camera or sitting down doing a whole bunch of endless mind-numbing work on keyword research. That sort of stuff is stuff that you can outsource, and so you should, because you want to focus on the really important decisions like should I buy this product, finding new products to sell, doing the kinds of things in decision making in your business that is important, and leaving the technical work to the experts. That's my advice. And so a lot of people ask, well, how do I outsource? Assuming you agree that you should outsource some portion or maybe all of the listing creation. Well, that's really pretty simple. You just go to fbaprep.com, or even better, just reach out to Ayana at fbaprep.com and set up an appointment to talk with one of our listing people, or have her send you there's an online form that you can fill out to give us all of the information that we need about your product, and we will make the arrangements to have the photography done, and we'll make arrangements with you to have a sample of the product sent to the photographer. We use multiple photographers, we use multiple graphics design teams. We're going to pick the one that's most relevant to the type of product that you have, and according to what kinds of images you really want. And so all of that is done in the background at fbaprep.com. And the best way to learn more about that is to go to the website, and also to reach out to Ayana, A-Y-A-N-A, at fbaprep.com, so that you can ask whatever questions you have, get some pricing, and find out how backed up we are, or if we're able to do them immediately, or if it's going to be a week or two or something like that, then that's fine. But if we're 6 weeks out, you probably want to know that. So, and by the way, we're not 6 weeks out. I'm just kind of throwing that out there as a kind of a crazy example, but generally we're able to get these things put together fairly quickly for you. So let's take a look at questions. Jack is asking, how up to date is Ace Inspector data? It's very up to date, almost real time, and in fact it is real time in some cases. Depends on the data you're talking about, because it tracks thousands of different data points on every product. Anna is asking, what if it is an obscure niche? Well, then it should be easy for you to dominate that niche if you do a good job of creating your listings. Even obscure niches have buyers, and if you find an obscure niche or node inside of Amazon and you want to dominate that, get in there and really sell up a storm, you might be the biggest fish in a small pond, but that's okay. Using these techniques, you can generally dominate 99% of the competitors, because let's face it, 99% of your competitors are not going to do all the things that I just taught you, right? Kevin says, FBA Prep is so going to be my supply chain. Yeah, awesome, Kevin. We'd love to have that happen for you, because, again, you want to make the critical decisions in your business, and let the experts help you with those, the implementation of those things, and save you a crap load of time and effort. All right. What other questions do we have? Let's see. Some people are saying that, wow, there's a ton of information here. We need to go through it again. Yep. I'm sure that the the listing seminar here, the webinar that we just did, will be posted shortly, and you'll be able to have the opportunity to go through it. So, how did I do, guys? Was that okay? Did I answer your questions generally? Go ahead in the question box. Go ahead and ask whatever other questions that you have. Cindy says, this is so great. Well, thank you, Cindy, so much for your kind words. Jack's saying, so Tennis Balls has 80,000 searches per month, and Tennis Ball Case has 20,000 searches per month. Wow, Tennis Ball Cases must be super popular. Well, see, you learn stuff when you do that kind of research, don't you? When you start looking at search volumes and relevancy and keywords and stuff, sometimes you find product ideas. Ooh, there's a nice little knowledge bomb for you. If you are thinking of selling tennis balls and it turns out that Tennis Ball Cases has more opportunity, well, you just found a product, didn't you? All right. Daniel says, I really appreciate it. Reed, FBA Prep is definitely going to be my supply chain too. Thanks, Daniel. It's been my pleasure to provide this information for you and really help you guys. Thanks, Jason and Chris, all of you folks that have been asking questions and have been active in this. Thank you so much. Julie's asking, can I please do a webinar on how to make and use flat files? And I previously answered that, Julie. No, that's not something that's really suitable for a webinar. It just isn't. It's too big, too long, too many things to learn, and too much revolving around the implementation of it. That's really something that has to be coached, not done at a webinar level. So if you're interested, Julie, reach out to Ayana at fbaprep.com. Let her know that you're interested in learning how to do flat files, and we will try and plug you into our next flat file coaching session. It's not a webinar, it's a coaching situation, but that is something that we do from time to time. Okay. Well, Will, how did I do?
I think you did incredible, my friend, and I got lots of people in the question mark saying, when's the next one with Reed? Is Reed coming back? This is the last one we have planned with Reed for now, but after seeing these last 3 sessions, I'm sure we'll revisit and see if there's anything further we can talk about. Because yeah, I think you have won everyone over, my friend. So incredible session.
Good. Well, Gerald is saying, great webinar today, Reed. Excited to talk to Chris tomorrow. So Gerald must have a conversation set up with our in-house attorney to help get the corporation or LLC set up for him. So that's excellent. Looking forward to working with you, Gerald.
That is great as well. Yeah, and any further questions, guys, go ahead and pop them in. You got Reed's, the best way to get in touch with Reed is iana@fbaprep.com. As we talked about for the last few weeks, right now Reed has availability on his schedule, so you can actually talk to Reed or Chris or some of the big wigs over there right now. A couple weeks from now, that might not be the case. So so definitely a first come first serve situation. And as you've heard, guys, this is why we so heavily recommend FBA Prep, is because it truly is the outsourced solution for your entire supply chain. FBA Prep is what allows you to get products from your supplier to FBA, everything in between, including all the nitty-gritty services that you're going to have to do to really make this business work. Well, FBA Prep does all of that, and they've mastered all of it and provide that for so many different Amazon sellers. So this is why we recommend it so heavily. You've seen Reed talk about everything from optimal legal structures and liability control to creating high converting listings and optimizing those. So it truly is kind of a all-purpose shop for outsourcing everything in your Amazon business. So again, you can go focus on the customer experience, which is where the value is really going to be added. So yeah, awesome stuff. I think, Reed, we might have 1 or 2 more questions in here. We'll get a few of them via text here, and then I think we're good to wrap up. And I appreciate you sticking around for an extra 15 minutes. I know you have to take off soon here. So.
Okay. Well, if there are other questions, I'm just kind of trying to answer those in the background here, but I do need to take off. So. I think I have answered them all. People are asking how do they rewatch it, and you can give them that information. People are asking about pricing information. Of course, pricing information can be found on fbaprep.com, and based on the conversation that you have with Ayana when you reach out, because there are different options for different kinds of listings. How much, if you want to do part of it and you want us to do part of it, we can do that. If you want the entire listing package, we can do all that for you. If you want live models and things, sometimes they're add-ons. So bottom line is, probably best to reach out to Ayana and open the discussion, and we'll give you the best advice that we can. And that same thing applies for people like Jason who are saying, would you recommend that we get started with FBA Prep? Would you recommend that we establish an LLC before start selling on Amazon? Yes, and yes, both are important. Kelly says, I need to switch to FBA Prep. Well, we sure hope that you will. And we hope that by watching this webinar that you understand better the process. You don't have to do it. I mean, we can do it for you, but you still need to understand it. So I'm glad you were here, and I'm glad that you have this knowledge now, so that whether we do it or whether you do it, at least you understand the process, you know what to do and how it works, and now when you outsource it, you have a pretty good idea of what it is that we're going to be doing for you. So Gary's asking if there's any follow-up support from FBA Prep if, example, the listing is not converting well. Yes, if a listing is not converting well, and you come back to us and say, hey, this listing is not converting well, and give us some statistics on it, we can suggest ways to tweak the listing, or we can rewrite part of it or something like that. But usually that doesn't happen. Usually we have enough experience to know what's going to cause conversions to go well. But every product is different, and what we're shooting for in terms of a USP conversion rate may be slightly different for one product versus another. We're always shooting to get the highest conversion rate that we can, and it is an art, not a science. So yeah, we do excellent work. We upload it, or we give you the information to upload, and then you upload it, and then if for some reason it's totally bombing, then yeah, get back to us, and we'll give you some suggestions. Maybe change this bullet point, change that title, or whatever, and try and help you get it into a position where it is converting well. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. For your attention.
And thanks for being here, Reed. I see we have a few more questions. We'll go ahead and get those via text, guys, before you take off. We'll answer those. And once again, just want to thank Reed for taking the time out of his day and showing us not only all of this with the listing creation and optimization, how to create that high converting listing, but also the entire FBA Prep series over the last couple weeks, LLC formation, bookkeeping, listing creation and optimization. These were extremely high-level sessions, and I think these are things that not many people talk about, but obviously once you're running this business, these are the absolute necessities that are going to make or break you. So it's been great to hear kind of your take on all of this, which is a very unique perspective on it, and I think a very effective one too. So thanks a lot for showing how FBA Prep really does these services, and of course, guys, I do recommend outsourcing a lot of this stuff as well. I've said this on the previous 2 sessions too, but my philosophy on outsourcing is think about what your customer wants you to do. Your customer does not care if you're the one putting shipping labels on. Your customer doesn't care if you're the one putting the products in poly bags and writing pieces of the sales listing. They want you to protect their experience, right? They want you to improve the product and deliver an incredible purchasing experience to them. So outsourcing things like this to FBA Prep or whoever you're outsourcing it to, it does allow you to refocus on that most valuable part of your business and how you're going to beat competitors, which is creating a better purchasing experience for the customer. So highly recommended FBA Prep. Obviously, you got all the information on your screen to jump in there and get in touch with Reed and Chris and the bigwigs there and get started with these services. And of course, guys, this replay will be up in a few hours, and it will be available to you to watch. But with that, Reed, absolutely incredible session, and your last couple ones were just as great. Thanks so much for being here for them, and hopefully we can have you back again for some additional FBA Prep webinars in the future.
Yeah, thanks again, Will, and let me know when you want me, and I'll try and be there best I can. We love you guys, and we're so thankful for the opportunity to work with you. Thanks.
Yeah, well, be careful, man. These people, everyone on the call might demand that you come back next week if you say that. So, but we'll keep you in the loop, and everyone, we'll make sure to try to get Reed back in here for another session because these have just been incredible. And with that, I guess we will call it a wrap, guys. So, like I said, this replay is going to be up in the next few hours, and highly recommended. I know there's a couple people here who haven't seen the LLC session and the bookkeeping session yet. All of Reed's FBA Prep sessions have been just as good as this one, if not better. So make sure to watch every single one of those webinars that Reed did because they are all extremely valuable and immediately useful when you're running this type of business. So once again, thank you to Reed. Thanks to Steve for keeping the question box under control. And thank all of you for being here and taking the time out of your day. Hopefully you found it very valuable. I know I did. And once again, thanks to Reed for being here. We hope to have you back again in the future. And yeah, just thanks for being here. All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up. I'm going to leave all this information on the screen here for just a couple minutes. And any additional questions, we'll make sure to get via text. With that, though, we'll call it a wrap. I will see you guys, those of you in E-Commerce Empire, I'll see you on Thursday. And awesome stuff, guys. Thanks for being here. Make sure you take action on this stuff ASAP while it's still fresh and inspirational. And all right, guys, we'll have this replay up in a few hours. Thanks again for being here, everyone. Good night, goodbye, much love, and I'll see you again soon.